Willie D Live.
Yeah. I asked because, for a while when my kids were little, I used to, I have them with me, and wherever I go, invariably somebody will want to stop and have a conversation. And my kids were like, why do people always want to talk to you? Now, they know that I rap. They know I'm in entertainment, but they don't be in my element with me. They're not at the concerts at this time.
Right. Hmm.
I never had them on tour or anything like that. So they haven't really, really been around me in my element.
Right.
So I say to myself, okay, I think they were like 8 and 12. No, probably more like 10 and 14 at the time.
Okay.
And I say, okay, let me let them see one of these shows, before it's too late, Um, let me take them to a show. And they were still young, but I say, their dad is part of one of the greatest groups ever, so they got to see this. So they come to the show, and they're in the front where the press area is, and people are going crazy. They scream and sing, and I'm gonna get up, boys. We doing the call and response, and we're doing it, and they're looking around, and they're just doing everything, and
Yeah.
I could see it in their eyes because I'm looking
I
down
can
at them,
only
and they're
imagine.
going like, and even when we pull up, in the cars, the fans on the side, ready for the autographs, they got the album. Wait, they got albums, and they ready to get the stuff signed,
Yes.
and my kids are going like, they tripping because people are everywhere and they're clawing and trying to get to me,
Yes.
and they're trying to figure out, like what's going on. But it was at that moment that they really, really realized that, nah, your dad ain't just a rapper, you know what I'm saying? I do this for real,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's why I ask you that, because sometimes the kids don't really get really how impactful their parents are until they actually get into that element, and then they see, okay, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, this is probably a little different than what I thought it was.
It was definitely when you take, James A. Johnson and separate that and go behind closed doors or outside to the world to Rick James. It's two different, people. Like Rick James is the character that is the alter ego that the world gets, but your children get a
Hmm.
different that softer, more emotional, the sensitive, you know, that's daddy.
Right.
So
Is that A for Ambrose, right? Is it Ambrose?
Ambrose, uh-huh.
Ambrose, yeah.
Mhm.
Rick James, man. Boy,
Yes.
that's something else. How did you feel about, let me put it like this. How did your dad feel about the skits that Charlie Murphy used to do on the Chappelle show?
Man, those skits, those wasn't skits. That was real life. That's
That was real life.
that's why
How
they
accurate
felt
was it?
so good and came across like that because that is really how they act behind closed, like, my dad, Eddie, Charlie, they all very good friends. My dad and Eddie were the best of friends. Um and of course Charlie's there coming up in the, under just goofy. Like they all act silly, they always had girls and women. I mean, just liquor, champagne, and acting just like wild boys.
Hmm.
So when you talk about show me your titties, like the girls didn't, they said that all the time. And like you said, now it would be a problem.
Right.
But that's how they actually used to get down. Girls would have no problem like flipping their shirt up. Like, it's like a flash. Like wet t-shirt contest. I don't know. But yeah, they would just slap each other on the regular, and that's again why it felt so authentic and it was very comical because it was really real life.
Yeah.